Good afternoon. Coming to you at 3:25, and what a day! The weather pattern is the same as yesterday, in that we still have this cold upper level trough, which I will show you, that's overhead, and it's the nature of the cold air which increases what they call the lapse rate. That means when the cumulus clouds start to develop, which when you have cold, unstable air aloft, they will. And as the air gets cold sharply, as you rise in elevation, the clouds start to build that much quicker and they really shoot up quickly. And that's what brings these billowing, towering cumulus clouds. Although it's so overcast, you can't really see the individual clouds, but they're there, and you get these intense heavy downpours. You get likely hail because, again, it doesn't take long. Today the snow level has been around 4,000 feet, so it doesn't take long for the raindrops to bump up into freezing temperatures, freeze into hail. They bounce around a little bit and then they come down with what has been often intense rain with them. Like yesterday, maybe you heard some thunder, but so far not seeing much detected. So most of any thunder you're hearing is cloud to cloud lightning, which is what we saw yesterday. I have not seen any watches or warnings. There are none posted as of right now. Yesterday, we had some severe thunderstorms down the Clackamas area, between actually Milwaukee and Clackamas. Severe because the hailstones reached about 3/4 of an inch. That's enough to do some damage. So severe thunderstorm warnings would go out. But you're looking right now at the radar, and it definitely shows all those bright colors. The red, there's a bright red. If you look just to the east of McMinnville, that's very definitely, I would say, a mix of heavy rain and some hail. And you can see those bright colors are kind of scattered about throughout. Okay, I do want to back up yesterday a little bit, and then I'll come forward into today. By the way, the thunderstorm explosion, or certainly the heavy shower explosion with hail, going to be with us into the evening hours today. Okay, so yesterday we talked about this, the water spout near Camas. This was posted on Twitter. Compliments of Scott Winkler, hashtag Washington Weather. National Weather Service reporting this just outside of Camas. And they're saying that the water spout was observed for a few minutes before it dissipated. Typically, water spouts don't do any damage. You would literally have to be in a small boat and run right into that rotating column to have any issues. The winds around these vortexes on water spouts are generally as little as 30 miles per hour. A really strong one would be 70 miles per hour, and that's not as common as the other way around. We talked about the heavy hail, the Sunnyside Road flooding down the Clackamas area. Troutdale, by the way, 1.22 inches was a record of rainfall for Sunday, Father's Day, on the 18th. And here were the records that we set yesterday. Now, this is partly cloudy skies today from the Portland Spirit Landing, looking at Tilcomb Crossing. That was earlier this morning. But yesterday's high of only 58, that actually becomes the new record for the coldest high temperature for June 18th out of PDX. The rainfall for yesterday's calendar day, midnight to midnight, 0.98. We almost picked up an inch of rain yesterday. That was a record for the day. And of course, that is just terrific news. You know, we haven't had much of any rain going back to the first week of May in terms of anything heavy. And a 0.98, that was the most we've had in one single rain event since April 10th, the day that produced just over an inch of rain. So trust me, yesterday, today, a little bit more rain tomorrow. This is going to go a long ways towards, prolonging some green color out there, maybe shoving back fire season just a little bit. So this is overall a very, very good news story. Now, it doesn't come without the storm threat, which can be dangerous. Let's fast forward to this morning. Now, what you're looking at, see those two funnels extending right in the middle of the photograph? This was taken by Gianni Pallone at 10:25 this morning. These were two of what was reported at the time to be 5 water spouts off of Rockaway Beach. These two dissipated, and then I've seen conflicting reports. Other reports said just 4. But at any rate, water spouts off of Rockaway Beach this morning. Very cool photo right there. And this is where the upper level low is, by the way. So keep in mind, water spouts funnel is offshore. The upper level low at that time, the main disturbance was just offshore this morning. It was right in front of that low on the east side that we had those funnels. Now, this is updated, and you see that low that's moving into the southwestern corner of Oregon. That's the one that triggered those water spouts. But you can see we're in an elongated area of low pressure. There's a northern low up in Canada. And this 552 millibar, the enclosed contour line, that's deep. That's in the cold batch of air for this time of the year, and it's the reason we're getting so much action. This cold pool of air aloft in the form of the upper level trough. This trough will start to weaken tomorrow, and with that, the storm chance will go away. The number of showers will diminish. And then to highlight the cold air I'm talking about, this was this morning up at Timberline Lodge. Yes. Now, there might be a little bit of hail mixed in. It's tough for me to tell or know. But for the most part, I think a lot of this was snow on the ground. The snow level this morning was 4,000 feet. Timberline Lodge, last I saw this morning, was down to 27 degrees. Now, they've since warmed up to around 32, and at least the snow on the parking lot, a lot on the ground has melted somewhat. But there could be a fresh covering of snow down to 4,000 feet again overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Not unusual to happen in June, but always a big talker and always something, a little fun to mention. Okay. I mentioned that the cold upper level trough starts to weaken tomorrow. This is Tuesday's upper level map, the American GFS model at 5 p.m. And see my white dashed lines. That's kind of the axis of this cold trough. The cold trough This is fun. I'm getting old. I got the magnifying glass. The cold trough lines tomorrow. Let's see here. We got 70. What am I doing? 70, 64. Yeah, it looks like a 564 contour line tomorrow afternoon. So that's warmer than today. And we're also starting to get on the back end of this trough as it starts to weaken. It'll weaken enough to get rid of the storm chance. And again, the number of showers will decrease. Now, with that said, it's still cold. And if we get a surprising amount of sunshine tomorrow in the afternoon, the number of showers could explode. And we could still see some spotty downpours with hail. I just think overall it'll be a little brighter with fewer showers and not as much of a storm chance as we've been seeing. So that's tomorrow. We'll still only be in the 60s. As I come to you with this forecast, I believe the temperature at 3 o'clock this afternoon, 63. Will be similar tomorrow, maybe just a couple degrees warmer. Wednesday, I still think, and I'll show you the 7 day in a moment, but Wednesday I still have is completely dry. Clouds to sun. And then starting Thursday, we're up into the 80s. And now this is Saturday. So notice the orange yellow colors. This is the temperature map at 5,000 feet. Again, at 5,000 feet is where we track kind of the batches of air, what we call the air masses. And you can see the orange colors on this air mass map dipping across Washington and just coming into Oregon. I kind of highlighted the southern edge of that with my red line. So we could be up in the 80s Thursday. We could be around 80 on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So a little stretch of warm to not what I would call hot weather. But see the green colors in the air mass down over California and extending out to sea in the Pacific? This is going to be a split flow. There's actually going to be an upper low to our south where you see the green, the colder air. And there are indications that picking up Saturday into Sunday, we would have a south wind flow. There'd be a little bit of moisture coming up, and that could trigger some instability with the chance, not Saturday, but the chance of some scattered storms developing Sunday and Monday. The chance of that right now is so-so. It's just something that I'm keeping an eye on and watching. And with that said, here is the forecast. So it looks like we're going to be about 63 or so today. Tomorrow, fewer showers, as I mentioned, and we'll get some sun. I should change that icon to show a little bit of sun tomorrow. A few showers around. Wednesday, morning clouds to sun, maybe just early cloudiness, and then all sun. 75, that looks to be a nice day. It's a dry day after we picked up 3 days of some decent rain. And then Thursday, pretty much all sun, 84. And then Friday, still triggering a shower chance. Models, not all of them, but at least a couple of them show an afternoon shower chance of some Maysboro rainfall. Again, that's something that may or may not develop. But if you have Friday afternoon, evening plans, keep an eye on the forecast. Saturday right now, I think, is dry. And then we get into that scattered storm chance I spoke of on Sunday and Monday of next week. Still don't see what I would call any good chances for 90-degree temperatures between today all the way through the July 4th weekend. So if that's true, it's very possible we will end June with only one 90-degree day. And that was after that record run of 90-degree temperatures that we had back in May. So you never know. An early hot season doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to get crazy hot. June has actually cooled off somewhat in terms of climatology to a nice degree. Okay, keep an eye on the sky. Good idea to check the radar. Be aware of your surroundings. If we get some heavy showers, which we may around sundown tonight, once that sun goes down and you get pooling water in area roadways, that becomes that much more difficult because you can't see what you're doing. All right. Thanks for subscribing to this YouTube channel. My weather site I use is portlandweather.com, and I'll talk to you soon.